Welcome to Rocky Watches Movies. Today we are taking a look at what the cast of Weird Science has been up to since its 1985 release. From shocking career changes to drug abuse to scandalous arrests, let's dive in and find out what happened. Anthony Michael Hall was Gary Wallace. Hall has continued acting ever since he came to fame as a teen thanks to Weird Science and two other John Hughes directed movies, 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club. He joined the cast of Saturday Night Live for the 1985-86 season when he was just 17, becoming the youngest cast member ever. Some of his other projects include Edward Scissorhands, 6 Degrees of Separation, The Dark Knight and Foxcatcher. Most recently, he appeared in the movie Halloween Kills and had a recurring role on The Goldbergs, but was not in the episode with Mitchell Smith. Hall was sentenced to 3 years of probation in 2017 after pleading no contest to charges he assaulted his neighbour during an argument. The actor was arrested on felony charges after he shoved Richard Sampson to the ground following an argument at his condo complex. Sampson broke his wrist in the fall. This wasn't the first time Hall had been in trouble with his neighbours. In 2011, he was booked on a misdemeanor charge of disturbing the peace following an altercation with fellow residents at his condo complex. Anthony Michael Hall is married to Lucia Oscarova. They started dating in 2016 and appeared in the 2017 movie War Machine together. He has a son with his wife and is also godfather to Robert Downey Jr.'s son, Indio. Ilan Mitchell Smith was Wyatt Donnelly. Aside from Weird Science, Mitchell Smith also acted in the 80s movies The Wildlife, The Chocolate War and Identity Crisis. He also starred in the Superboy TV show from 1988, amongst other roles. He retired from the business in 1991, with his last role being an appearance on the TV series Silk Stalkings. In recent years, Mitchell Smith has returned to acting for 2 parts, a voice role on the animated series Axe Cop and a guest role on The Goldbergs in an episode inspired by Weird Science. Smith decided to ditch acting for academics. He's a professor of medieval literature at California State University. According to his students, he can be pretty intense. Smith has a 3.8 overall rating on Rate My Professor, and one student grumbled, "Very, very tough. This teacher grades as if you are an English major, even if you're not." He met Susanna Damarie at Santa Monica College and they were married in 1995. They have 2 children born in 98 and 2000. Kelly LeBrock was Lisa, the computer program doll turned real-life woman with a brain even bigger than her hair. After the movie, she took a small hiatus from acting before returning to the scene in 1990, when she starred in the thriller Hard to Kill. After that, she acted in Betrayal of the Dove, Wrongly Accused alongside Leslie Nielsen, rom-com Xerophilia, and holiday flick A Prince for Christmas. She also starred in the Lifetime docuseries Growing Up Supermodel in 2017. She has been married 3 times, first to film producer and restaurateur Victor Dry from 84 to 86. She then wed actor Steven Seagal in 1987, and together they welcomed a daughter named Arissa, but they divorced in 96. And she then tied the knot for a 3rd time in 2007 to retired investment banker Fred Steck, but they split after only 1 year together. She now lives on a ranch in California, where she has been living for the last 25 years, without TV and very little communication with the outside world. She has previously said, "Hollywood wasn't a place where I wanted to raise my children. My divorce was very much in the press, and I'm not a Hollywood girl, never have been. I never really liked the attention. I wanted to have dirt in my nails and be in the outdoors. So I quit my career and moved to the wilderness, where I lived with no television for 25 years. I did the best that I could as a single mom." LeBrock also gives her time as the international spokesperson for Club Carson, an organisation dedicated to helping children with cancer, as well as charities devoted to autism outreach and education. Bill Paxton was Chet Donnelly. It was just the beginning for Paxton. He went on to star in sci-fi flick Aliens, spy comedy movie True Lies, Titanic, Apollo 13, disaster movie Twister, and the Tom Cruise-led movie Edge of Tomorrow, among many others. He earned 3 Golden Globe Award nominations for his role in HBO's Big Love and an Emmy Award nomination for his performance in the History Channel's Hartfields and McCoys. He also directed several movies, including Frailty and The Greatest Game Ever Played, and starred in the popular video game Call of Duty. He also joined a band in the 80s called Martini Ranch, and together they released one album called Holy Cow in 1988. He married Louise Newbury in 1987, and they had 2 children together. Unfortunately, he died in February 2017 at the age of 61 after suffering from a stroke. He had undergone surgery days earlier to correct a damaged aortic heart valve he had developed in his teen years. His family later sued the surgeon, claiming they used high-risk and unconventional methods, which resulted in complications and ultimately his death. They reached a partial settlement in the case in 2022 and were granted $1 million. Robert Downey Jr. was Bully Ian. The actor went on to become a huge name in Hollywood, starring in more than 70 roles, including the movies Less Than Zero, Chaplin, which earned him an Oscar nomination for Best Actor, and Oliver Stone's Natural Born Killers, among others. But his most famous role is, of course, Iron Man in the MCU, for which he has appeared in 10 films as the character. He has also just won the Best Supporting Actor Oscar for his role in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. Things haven't always been rosy for Downey though. During the late 90s, he faced controversy when he was arrested numerous times on charges related to drugs, including cocaine, heroin and marijuana. He later revealed that he had been addicted to drugs since the age of 8, since his father, who was an addict, gave them to him. He was also arrested for trespassing onto his neighbour's home and falling asleep in one of their beds, for which he was sentenced to 3 years probation and was ordered to undergo drug testing. The actor spent nearly a year in the California Substance Abuse Treatment Facility and state prison after failing to show up to numerous court-ordered drug tests. In 2000, just 1 week after his release from the facility, he was cast in the show Ally McBeal, which earned him a Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actor and an Emmy Award nomination. However, he was arrested 2 more times after that on drug-related charges. By 2003, however, after 5 years of substance abuse, arrests and rehab stints, Downey Jr. was clean, and he returned to acting with vengeance. He has been drug-free ever since. He also stepped into the world of music, releasing his debut album, The Futurist, in 2004, and started his own production company called Team Downey in 2010. As for his love life, Downey Jr. married actress and singer Deborah Falconer in 92, and together they welcomed a son in 93. They split in 2001 during his rough patch though, and finalised the divorce in 2004. He then wed his now wife producer Susan Downey in 2005. They had a son named Exton in 2012 and a daughter named Avery in 2014. Susan Snyder was Deb. Being in Weird Science propelled her into the spotlight. She then went on to star in the sci-fi movie Night of the Creeps, horror flick Retribution, Return of the Living Dead Part 2, 1988's Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and comedy The Night Before. Her television credits include guest roles in episodes of various series, including 2 episodes each of Seinfeld, Family Ties, Silver Spoons, and Jake and the Fat Man. Her final TV appearance was in a 1996 episode of Homicide: Life on the Street. Her last role was in 2010, and since then she has stayed out of the limelight. Judy Aronson was Hilly. After Weird Science, she also starred in the action movie American Ninja, the 1990 film The Sleeping Car, comedy drama Lisa Picard is Famous, the psychological thriller Hannibal, and the 2005 movie Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. She also made a series of guest appearances in shows like Full House, 90210, and Law & Order: Criminal Intent. However, she stepped out of the spotlight and stopped acting in the late 2000s. She did, however, appear in 2021's 13 Fanboy, a film about an obsessed fan who stalks his favourite actors from the Friday the 13th films, mirroring his idol Jason Voorhees. Aronson had starred in Friday the 13th, the final chapter from 1984. She now runs an antique shop called Handmade in California and manages a Pilates studio. Robert Russler was Bully Max. His first acting role was in Weird Science. His other acting credits include A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, Stephen King's Sometimes They Come Back, 1990s series The Outsiders, and the sci-fi show Babylon 5. He also had a brief appearance in shows like Cold Case, Medium, 24, and NCIS. He's had recent roles in the supernatural series Light as a Feather in 2018 and in the vampire flick Jacob's Wife from 2021. Vernon Wells was gang leader Lord General. The Australian's first big American role was as Lord General in Weird Science, which quickly propelled him into the spotlight. He went on to star in Commando opposite Arnold Schwarzenegger, horror flick Last Man Standing, sci-fi movie Fortress, 1990s Circuitry Man, and the series Power Rangers Time Force. He has a long list of film credits, with his most recent being Heartland Harmony, about a movie star Grayson Kane who is about to bring the hottest new comic book superhero to the big screen. But first he must get the creator's approval, and she is no pushover. He is married to Grace Kono. And there you have it, folks. You're all caught up with the cast of Weird Science. If you enjoyed the video, which I presume you did as you got this far, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos coming to Rocky Watches Movies. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.